The phone buzzes at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday in March. You don't reach for it right away. You already know what it is. Another order notification, your 9th since midnight. 9 orders, and your heat press broke 6 hours ago. The platen won't lock. The heating element reads 247 degrees when it should read 385. And sitting in your garage right now are 11 boxes of Gildan 5000 blanks that arrived today for a fraternity order due in 72 hours. 420 shirts, front and back prints, each one needing to be perfect. Your hands still smell like plastisol ink. There's a burn mark on your left forearm from last Thursday that's starting to peel. And your bank account, right now, at this exact moment, shows $1,847.22. Which sounds fine until you remember the $2,100 payment for blank inventory hitting tomorrow. The $489 that auto-drafts on the 1st for software, insurance, and shop utilities. And the $1,200 in rent for the commercial unit you moved into last spring because your HOA sent a cease-and-desist letter about running a business out of your garage. You do the math in the dark. You are $1,941.78 short. And your biggest order ever, the one that could actually make this month survivable, requires a functioning heat press you cannot currently afford to replace. This is the moment. Not the inspirational one they show in YouTube thumbnails where someone holds up a stack of cash and tells you custom t-shirt printing changed their life. This is the real one. The one where you're lying in bed doing subtraction and losing. But here's the thing you don't know yet, lying there in the dark. 11 months from now, you'll have a team of 4, a 2,200 square foot production facility, and monthly revenue that would make your old district manager's salary look like pocket money. You'll turn down orders. You'll have a wait list. You'll raise your prices twice and lose almost nobody. What happens between this moment and that one is not a straight line. It's not a hack, and it's not luck. It's a series of decisions, some brilliant, some painful, a few genuinely stupid, that teach you what this business actually is when you strip away the Instagram Reels and the "Start a print business for $500" videos. Stick around, because 3 of those decisions nearly buried you, and one of them, the one you almost didn't make, is the reason everything changed. Let's go back 29 months. You're 27 years old. Your name is Marcus Delgado, and you've been the assistant manager at a sporting goods store in Mesa, Arizona for 3 years and 4 months. You make $47,200 a year before taxes. After taxes, health insurance, and the $380 monthly payment on a Honda Civic you bought certified pre-owned, you take home about $2,640 a month. Your rent is $1,150 for a 1-bedroom in a complex off Southern Avenue, where the pool has been under maintenance since you moved in. You're not broke, you're just stuck. The gap between what you earn and what you spend leaves about $340 a month, enough to build savings at a pace that feels almost insulting. At this rate, a down payment on a house in the Phoenix metro is roughly 9 years away. Your manager, Doug, has been in his role for 11 years. He's not leaving. The district manager position requires relocation to Boise. You don't want to move to Boise. The T-shirt idea starts the way most of them do, not with a business plan, but with a favor. Your buddy Ricky Aguirre coaches a youth basketball league out of the Mesa Community Center. 12 teams, about 140 kids. He asks if you know anyone who can do team shirts. He's been quoted $18 per shirt from a local shop, and with 12 teams of 12 kids, that's $2,592. Money that comes out of the league's registration fees and leaves almost nothing for equipment. You say something you'll think about for months afterward. I could probably figure that out. You have never printed a T-shirt in your life. That night, you go down a rabbit hole. YouTube, Reddit threads on r/screen printing, forums where people with names like inkslinger_Mike post photos of their garage setups and argue about plastisol versus water-based inks. You learn that screen printing, the traditional method, requires screens, emulsion, a light source for burning images, squeegees, and a press. Startup cost for a basic manual setup, $1,200 to $2,500. Learning curve, steep. Registration, lining up multiple colors precisely, takes practice, lots of practice. Then you find the other path, heat transfer vinyl, also called HTV. You buy a sheet of vinyl, cut out a design with a cutting machine like a Cricut or Silhouette, weed out the excess material, and press it onto the shirt with a heat press. Startup cost, $400 to $800. Learning curve, manageable. There's a third option, direct to film, DTF, but the printers start at $3,000, and the technology in early 2025 is still finicky. You bookmark it and move on. You buy a 15 by 15 heat press on Amazon for $289. A Cricut Explore 3 for $249, refurbished. A starter pack of Caesar Easy Weed HTV in 12 colors for $67. 50 blank Gildan 5000 heavy cotton tees in assorted sizes from a wholesale account you set up on jiffyshirts.com. Total $147.50, averaging $2.95 per shirt. Your total investment $752.50. The first shirt you make, a test run, looks terrible. The vinyl bubbles at the edges. The temperature was right. Caesar Easy Weed wants 305 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds. What you got wrong was pressure. Easy Weed needs firm, medium pressure, and you barely latched the press shut. The M in Mesa lifted at the corner. The second shirt is better. The third is good. The fifth is something you'd actually wear. You text Ricky, "I can do your league shirts, $8 each." He texts back one word, deal. 144 shirts at $8 each, $1,152 in revenue. Your blank cost $424.80. Vinyl and transfer materials, roughly $95. Net profit $632.20. Before you account for about 40 hours of cutting, weeding, pressing, and quality checking. That's $15.81 an hour, less than your day job. But something happens during those 40 hours that changes the calculation. You're not watching the clock. You're not waiting for your shift to end. You're not thinking about Doug or Boise or the broken pool at your apartment complex. You're solving problems. You're dialing in pressure settings and figuring out that the collar seam needs extra attention, and learning that black shirts need a higher temperature than white ones by about 5 degrees. You're making something. And when Ricky posts a team photo on Instagram, 12 kids in matching teal shirts with their team name in white vinyl, looking sharp, you get 4 DMs before the end of the day. Hey, who made those shirts? Here's what nobody tells you about the custom t-shirt business. The first customers are easy. They come to you because they know you, or they know someone who knows you. The pricing doesn't matter much because they're comparing you to the local shop that charges $18 to $25 per shirt and requires a 50-piece minimum. You don't have a minimum. You don't have a website. You don't even have a business name yet. You have a Cricut, a heat press on a folding table in your garage, and an Instagram account at Marcus Tees, where you post photos of every order against a white bedsheet backdrop. Over the next 3 months, you do 14 orders. They break down like this: 4 birthday party shirt sets, 8 to 15 shirts each, $10 to $12 per shirt. 2 family reunion orders, 25 and 30 shirts, $9 each. 3 small business logo tees, 10 to 20 shirts, $12 each with design work. 2 bachelorette party orders, 8 and 12 shirts, $15 each including glitter vinyl. 2 church youth group orders, 40 and 35 shirts, $8.50 each. 1 repeat order from Ricky's League for tournament shirts. Total revenue in those 3 months, $4,847. Total cost of goods, blanks plus materials, $1,926. Gross profit, $2,921. You're doing this on evenings and weekends while still working 40 hours a week at the sporting goods store. Your garage stays at 108 degrees in the Arizona summer. The heat press adds another 15 degrees to the ambient temperature. You set up a box fan that just circulates hot air. You sweat through 2 shirts a night, not the ones you're printing, the ones you're wearing. And you're learning. You learn that glitter HDV is a nightmare to weed. The tiny letters stick together and tear. You learn that Bella plus Canvas 3001 shirts at $4.10 wholesale feel dramatically better than the $2.95 Gildan blanks. And customers notice. You learn that polyblend performance shirts need a lower temperature, 280 degrees, 12 seconds, or the vinyl will scorch the synthetic fibers and leave a ghost image. You also learn something about pricing that takes most people in this business 2 years to figure out. You learn it in month 3, and it comes from a woman named Dana Clifford. Dana runs a CrossFit gym called Ironside Athletics in Tempe. She wants shirts for her gym, a logo on the front, a motivational phrase on the back. 40 shirts. She asks your price. You say $10 each. She says, "That's it? The last guy quoted me $22. And instead of saying, "Yes, $10, you hear yourself say, "Actually, these are premium tri-blend shirts with a custom 2-location print. Let me put together a proper quote." You go home, look up the cost of next-level 6210 tri-blend shirts in her sizes. $5.80 each wholesale. DTF transfers from a third-party printer for a full color design, front and back. $2.50 per shirt. Your all-in cost, $8.30 per shirt. You quote her $18. She says yes without hesitating. That single pricing decision, charging $18 instead of $10, nets you an extra $320 on that one order. More importantly, it teaches you the lesson that separates people who have a hobby from people who have a business. The customer is not comparing your price to your cost. They're comparing your price to the alternative. And the alternative in custom t-shirt printing is almost always more expensive and less personal than you. 5 months in, you're doing $3,200 to $3,800 a month in t-shirt revenue, while still working full-time. Your Instagram has 1,400 followers. You've printed shirts for 23 different clients, and 11 of them have reordered. Then September hits. September, October, and November are the busiest months in custom apparel. School spirit wear, fall sports teams, homecoming, Halloween-themed orders, holiday gifts, corporate end-of-year parties. In September alone, you book $8,400 in orders. October, $11,200. $11,200 in a single month from printing t-shirts in your garage. But the money isn't the whole picture. To fill those orders, you're working until 1 a.m. every weeknight and 14-hour days on weekends. Your Cricut blade needs replacing every 2 weeks because you're cutting through so much vinyl. The heat press pad is developing a groove from thousands of presses. You're ordering blanks 3 times a week because you can't forecast demand and you don't have storage space. And your neighbors are starting to notice. The UPS truck comes every day, sometimes twice. Your garage door is open until midnight. The HOA sends a friendly reminder about home business activity. And you know from the Mesa City Code that operating a commercial enterprise out of a residential property without a home occupation permit is a zoning violation. You apply for the home occupation permit. It costs $75 and allows you to run a business from home with restrictions. No signage, no customer visits, no employees, no exterior storage, no noise or odor complaints. You're compliant on all counts except the implied one, the volume of packages and deliveries that make it obvious this isn't someone ordering protein powder. October's $11,200 breaks down to roughly $4,700 in cost of goods, leaving $6,500 in gross profit. Your sporting goods job pays $3,933 per month gross. The math has flipped. You're now making more from your garage side hustle than from your full-time job. But you haven't quit yet, because you're smart enough or scared enough to know that October isn't January. January is the deadest month in custom apparel. You need to see a full year before you make any permanent decisions. This turns out to be both wise and costly, because by trying to do both, you start dropping balls. The order comes from a company called Southwest Endurance Events, a race management company that organizes 5Ks, half marathons, and obstacle course races across Arizona and New Mexico. They want participant shirts for a Turkey Trot 5K in Scottsdale on Thanksgiving weekend. 600 shirts. 600. You've never done an order over 50. Your entire production capacity, 1 heat press, 1 cutting machine, 1 pair of hands, can produce about 30 shirts in a focused evening session. 600 shirts would take 20 evenings. You have 18 days until the event. You say yes anyway. The quote, $7.50 per shirt for a one-color front print on Gildan 5,000 blanks. Revenue, $4,500. COGS, roughly $2,100 for blanks and $360 for HTV. Profit, $2,040. You order the blanks in bulk from Sanmar, one of the largest wholesale blank distributors in the country. 600 shirts across 7 sizes, from adult small to 3XL. The order arrives in 4 boxes, each one heavy enough to strain your back. They fill your living room. Night 1. You cut and press 28 shirts. The design is simple. A turkey wearing running shoes with Scottsdale Turkey Trot 2025 in an arc above it. But each shirt still takes about 3 minutes. Position the transfer. Close the press. Wait 10 seconds. Open, peel, fold, bag, stack by size. Night 2. 31 shirts. Night 3. You realize you're not going to make it. At 30 shirts a night with 18 nights, you can produce 540. You need 600. And that assumes 0 defects, 0 reruns, 0 nights where you're too exhausted to press straight. You haven't accounted for the fact that you still work 8 hours a day at the sporting goods store, or that Thanksgiving itself is a day you probably can't work because your mom expects you at her house in Chandler. Night 5. You make the call you should have made on night 1. You reach out to a DTF transfer supplier, a company called Transfer Express based in Ohio, and order 600 gang sheets with the Turkey Trot design, full color. Cost $1.80 per transfer. $1,080 total. They arrive in 6 business days via UPS ground. Your new cost structure. Blanks, $2,100, plus DTF transfers, $1,080, equals $3,180. Profit drops from $2,040 to $1,320. But here's what you gain. The DTF transfers press in 7 seconds instead of 12. No weeding, no cutting, no alignment issues. You just peel the backing, position the film, press, and peel. With DTF transfers, you can do 50 shirts an hour, 600 shirts in 12 hours. You knock out the entire order in 2 weekend days. The shirts look better than anything you've done with HDV. Full color, photographic quality, no vinyl edges, soft hand feel. The race director, a woman named Karen Hollister, tells you they're the best participant shirts she's had in 4 years of running events. She asks if you can do her spring race series. 14 events, estimated total 4,200 shirts. And right there, in the parking lot of the Scottsdale Civic Center, holding a finisher medal someone handed you, you understand something fundamental about this business that changes everything going forward. The money is not in making shirts one at a time. The money is in systems that let you make shirts at scale. December, you sit down with a legal pad and a calculator and do the exercise you've been avoiding. Last 12 months of T-shirt revenue, $47,300. Cost of goods sold, $19,680. Gross profit, $27,620. Hours worked on T-shirts, estimated, probably conservative, 1,840. Effective hourly rate, $15.01. Your sporting goods job pays $22.69 an hour. On paper, the t-shirt business is worse. You're making less per hour for harder work. The rational move is to keep the day job and scale back the side hustle to a manageable level, maybe 10 to 15 hours a week, enough to supplement your income without burning you out. But that calculation is missing something. It's missing the trajectory. In month 1, you made $1,152 at an effective rate of about $15.81 per hour. In month 12, you made $5,100 at an effective rate of roughly $21.25 per hour. The line goes up because you're getting faster. Your average order value is climbing. You're charging more and choosing better margin products. And repeat customers cost nothing to acquire. If you extrapolate the trend, and extrapolation is dangerous, but bear with it, month 18 puts you around $7,500 to $8,000 in revenue at an hourly rate that matches or beats your day job. Month 24 puts you over $10,000. And that's just you, alone, with one heat press. There's one more number that matters. You pull up your business checking account. You opened a separate one at a credit union 5 months ago, which is one of the first things you did right. Balance, $8,340. That's not savings. That's retained earnings from the business after paying yourself enough to cover your personal expenses in the lean months. $8,340. Not enough for a year's runway, but enough for 3 months if you're careful. On January 2nd, you give Doug your 2 weeks' notice. He says, "For what?" You say, "I'm going to print t-shirts full-time." He looks at you for about 4 seconds, then says, "Good luck, man." He means it. The first week of full-time self-employment, you do something smart and something stupid. Smart. You register an LLC, Marcus Delgado Prince, LLC, filed with the Arizona Corporation Commission for $50. You get an EIN from the IRS the same day. Free. Takes 10 minutes online. You set up a business bank account at your credit union. You separate everything. Personal money and business money never touch. Stupid. You buy a second heat press. Not because you need it yet, but because it was $489 on a Facebook Marketplace deal. A Hotronics Fusion 16 by 20, barely used, from a woman in Gilbert who tried the t-shirt business for 3 months and quit. It's a great press, better than your Amazon one. But you just quit your job and you're buying equipment with retained earnings that should be your safety net. Total spend in week 1 of full-time, $539. Remaining business cash, $7,801. But now you have 16 hours a day, 5 days a week, 80 hours of potential production time. You also have something you didn't have before, the ability to do same-day rush orders. This turns out to be enormous. In the custom t-shirt business, speed is a pricing lever. A standard order, 2 weeks turnaround, commands one price. A rush order, 48 hours, commands 30% to 50% more. A same-day order, I need these for tonight, you can charge whatever you want. Your first same-day order comes on a Thursday morning. A woman named Jessica Park calls you. Not texts, calls, which you later learn means urgency and money. Her daughter's volleyball team made regionals. The tournament is Saturday. She needs 14 shirts by 6 p.m. Friday. The team name is Desert Storm, and she wants it in metallic gold HDV on black performance shirts. You quote $22 per shirt. Standard price for performance tees with specialty vinyl would be about $15. She doesn't blink. Revenue $308. COGS $118. Performance blanks at $5.20 each, plus metallic gold vinyl. Profit $190 for about 3 hours of work. That's $63 an hour. You make a note. Rush orders are the highest margin product in this business. Start marketing them. 3 weeks into full-time, you build a website. Not because you want to. You've been getting orders through Instagram DMs and word of mouth, and it's been fine. But you're starting to lose track of conversations. Quotes are buried in message threads, and you misspelt a customer's name on an invoice last week because you were scrolling through DMs at midnight trying to find their original message. You use Shopify. The basic plan is $39 per month. You spend 2 evenings building it. Product photos on white backgrounds. You bought a $15 backdrop stand from Amazon. Clear pricing. A request a quote form for custom orders. And a portfolio section with photos from your best projects. The website does something you don't expect. It makes people take you seriously. When you were just an Instagram account, customers treated the interaction like a casual conversation. "Hey, can you do shirts?" Followed by days of back and forth about colors, sizes, quantities, and timelines, with half the conversations dying before they turned into orders. Your close rate on Instagram inquiries? About 35%. With a website, people arrive with intent. They've already seen your pricing. They've looked at your portfolio. They fill out the quote form with specific details: event name, quantity, preferred shirt brand, design description. Your close rate on website inquiries? 72%. More importantly, the website lets you charge more. There's a psychological threshold that separates guy who prints shirts in his garage from custom apparel company. A website with professional photos, clear policies, and a checkout process crosses that threshold. You raise your base price from $12 to $14 per shirt. Nobody complains. 2 months later, you raise it to $16. One customer pushes back. A church group that's been paying $8.50 since the beginning. You hold their price as a loyalty rate and move on. By month 3 of full-time, month 17 overall, you're averaging $7,800 per month in revenue. COGS is running about 38%, a healthy margin in custom apparel. Your operating expenses are low. $39 Shopify. $67 phone bill. You got a Google Voice number for the business. $15 per month in Canva Pro for design work. And about $120 per month in miscellaneous supplies. Transfer tape, Teflon sheets, parchment paper, butcher paper for packing. Monthly overhead, $241. Monthly gross profit, roughly $4,836. Monthly net after overhead, $4,595. You're making more than your old job. Not wildly more, but enough that the decision to quit feels validated. And the number is still climbing. But there's a structural problem you haven't addressed. And it's about to become the thing that either makes or breaks this business. The HOA sends a second letter. This one is not friendly. Dear Mr. Delgado, It has been brought to the board's attention that a commercial enterprise continues to operate from your residence in violation of Section 4.12b of the Community CC&RS. Daily commercial deliveries and late-night operational noise have been documented by multiple residents. You have 30 days to bring your property into compliance or face fines of up to $200 per day. You've been expecting this. The UPS driver knows you by name. Your garage door is open 12 hours a day. The heat press makes a distinctive thump, hiss, thump every few seconds that carries across the courtyard. You have 30 days. But what you really need is a space. You start looking at commercial rentals in Mesa and the East Valley. The numbers hit you immediately. A proper retail or warehouse space in Mesa runs $1.00 to $1.50 per square foot per month. You need at least 600 square feet for production. That's $600 to $900 per month, plus utilities, plus a security deposit, usually first, last, and deposit, plus commercial insurance, which your State Farm agent quotes at $127 per month for a basic BOP, business owner's policy, covering liability and property. All in, moving into a commercial space will cost $3,000 to $4,500 upfront and add $800 to $1,100 to your monthly overhead. Your business cash on hand, $6,200. You could do it, barely, but one slow month and you're choosing between rent and inventory. Then you find the unit on Main Street in downtown Mesa. It's 1,100 square feet, larger than you need, but it has a storefront, an actual glass front retail space with a small reception area, a back room for production, a tiny bathroom, and a roll-up door for deliveries. The previous tenant was a vape shop. Rent, $1,200 per month, triple net, which means you also pay your share of property taxes, insurance, and common area maintenance, another $180 per month. It's more than you budgeted, significantly more, but the storefront changes the business model in a way you haven't fully processed yet. With a storefront, you're not just an online printer filling orders from an Instagram queue. You're a local business. People walk by. People walk in. People see their neighbor's shirt design on a mannequin in the window and think, I need shirts too. Your girlfriend, Ava Torres, who works as a dental hygienist and has quietly tolerated the garage takeover for 6 months, gives you the push you need. She says, if you're going to do this, do it for real. You sign the lease on March 1st. First month, last month, deposit, $3,600. The keyring has 2 keys and a fob for the back door. You stand in the empty space, which smells like cotton candy vape juice and commercial carpet cleaner, and have the most terrified and excited moment of your entrepreneurial life so far. The build-out takes 3 weeks. You do most of it yourself to save money. Production area in the back. 2 folding tables for prep work. Both heat presses, the Amazon one and the Hotronics Fusion, on a purpose-built countertop you assemble from IKEA kitchen cabinets and a butcher block top. Total, $340. Wire shelving from Costco for blank inventory. $180 for 3 units. You organize by brand, then by color, then by size. A pegboard wall for tools, vinyl rolls, and supplies. Front area. A small L-shaped desk you find at a thrift store for $45. A 27-inch monitor for showing customers design mock-ups. A basic point-of-sale system using Square, free hardware, they mail you a reader. 2.6% plus $0.15 per transaction. You spend $2,400 on a piece of equipment that changes the economics of your business. A used Roland GS24 vinyl cutter. Your Cricut is fine for small jobs, but it's slow and limited to 12-inch wide material. The Roland handles 24-inch rolls at 3 times the speed. It cuts cleaner, more consistently, and can handle thicker specialty vinyl, reflective, metallic, glitter, without jamming. You also invest $800 in a DTF printer kit, an Epson L1800 modified for DTF printing with white ink capability. This is a gamble. DTF printing lets you do full-color, photographic quality transfers without the per-piece cost of ordering from Transfer Express. If you print your own transfers, your cost drops from $1.80 per transfer to about $0.35 per transfer. But the Epson needs maintenance. The white ink settles. The print head clogs if you don't use it every day. The powder adhesive gets everywhere. Grand total for the build-out, $3,765. Combined with the lease deposit, you spent $7,365 to go from garage to storefront. Business cash remaining after the month's orders clear, roughly $2,800. You are running thin, dangerously thin. But you open the door on March 22nd with a sandwich board sign on the sidewalk. Custom T-shirts, walk-ins welcome. And something happens that changes the trajectory of this business. A walk-in customer spends $840 on your first day. The customer's name is Raymond Ochoa. He manages a landscaping crew of 12 and needs branded work shirts. Not fancy ones, just black tees with Ochoa Landscapes and a phone number on the back, a small logo on the front left chest. He was walking to the taqueria 3 doors down. He saw your sign. He walked in. This is something you couldn't replicate online. The friction of getting someone to your website, browsing your products, filling out a quote form, waiting for a response, going back and forth on details, and finally placing an order. That process takes days and loses most people. A walk-in compresses it to 20 minutes. Raymond points at the wall where you've hung sample shirts. He picks the shirt style. You pull up a design template on your monitor. He tells you the font. You show him 3 options. He picks one. You mock it up in Canva in 7 minutes. He approves it. You quote him, 48 shirts, 4 for every guy on the crew, 2 location print, Gildan 5,000 blanks, $17.50 each. Ready in 5 business days. He pays the 50% deposit on the spot with his debit card. $420 to square. The rest on pickup. Over the next 4 months, walk-in traffic generates 31% of your revenue. These customers have 2 characteristics that make them disproportionately valuable. First, they almost never price shop. They walked in because of convenience and proximity, not because they found the cheapest option online. Your close rate on walk-ins is 89%. Nearly 9 out of 10 people who walk through the door place an order. Second, they reorder. Raymond Ochoa has ordered 4 more times since that first visit. Each time, he just walks in. You pull up his last order, adjust the quantities, and process it. The storefront also creates a marketing flywheel you didn't anticipate. Customers who pick up orders often bring someone with them. "Come see the shirts," they say on the phone. The friend comes, sees the shop, picks up a business card and calls 3 weeks later for their own order. 22% of your new customers come from referrals that started with an in-store pickup. By month 6 of full-time, month 20 overall, your revenue hits $9,400 in a single month. Gross margins are holding at 40 to 45%. You have 83 active clients, people who've ordered at least once and are in your system. And you're drowning. Not financially, operationally. The problem is that you serve everyone. Youth sports teams, corporate events, birthday parties, bachelor parties, church groups, small businesses, race events, family reunions, school clubs, wedding parties, non-profit fundraisers. Each customer type has different needs, different expectations, different budgets, and different definitions of good. The bachelor party customer wants something funny and doesn't care about quality. They're wearing it once. The corporate customer wants Bella plus Canvas tri-blend with Pantone matched colors and expects a design proof within 24 hours. The school PTA wants the cheapest possible option and will debate the quote for 2 weeks. You're spending as much time on a $96 birthday party order, 8 shirts at $12, as you are on a $1,400 corporate order, 70 shirts at $20. The profit margin on the birthday party is $34. The profit margin on the corporate order is $588. The birthday party customer emails you 9 times. She changes the design 3 times. She asks if you can do a rush. She asks if she can return 2 shirts because she ordered the wrong size. She leaves a 5-star review that says, "Cute shirts," and never orders again. The corporate customer emails you twice, once to approve the proof, once to confirm delivery. They pay net 15 and never question the invoice. They reorder quarterly. This is the niche problem, and it's the most important strategic decision in the custom apparel business. You can serve everyone and make decent money, or you can focus on a specific customer type and make real money. You look at your data. You export your Square reports and your Shopify orders and put everything into a Google Sheet. You tag each order by customer type and calculate revenue, profit, hours spent, and profit per hour for each category. The results are stark. Corporate/small business clients, $42 per hour average profit. Sports teams/leagues, $28 per hour. Event organizers, races, festivals, $35 per hour. Everything else, parties, weddings, etc., $14 per hour. You make a decision that feels risky, but is actually just math. You stop marketing to individual consumers. You don't turn them away. If someone walks in wanting 8 bachelorette party shirts, you'll still do it. But you stop posting bachelorette content on Instagram. You remove the Party Packages section from your website. You replace it with Business Apparel Solutions and Team and League Programs. You start reaching out directly to businesses. Not cold emails, nobody reads those. Direct mail. You design a postcard with a sample shirt offer. Your first branded shirts, 50% off, up to 12 shirts. You print 200 postcards at Vistaprint for $47 and hand deliver them to businesses within a 2-mile radius of your shop. The response rate is 4.5%. 9 businesses respond, 6 place orders. Average order value $680. One of those 6 businesses is a roofing company called Ridgecrest Roofing. Their operations manager, a guy named Tommy Brennan, becomes your best client. But you don't know that yet. Right now, he's just ordering 24 shirts. Month 8 of full-time. Revenue, $12,300. Your best month ever. You've got 97 active clients and a pipeline of 14 open orders. You hire your first employee. Her name is Yesenia Contreras. She's 19, just finished a semester at Mesa Community College and needs a job that doesn't involve food service. She's never touched a heat press, but she's organized, detail-oriented, and doesn't panic when the DTF printer jams, which it does approximately every 47 prints. You start her at $15 per hour, 25 hours a week. Cost? $1,500 per month before the 7.65% employer payroll tax portion, FICA. Actual cost? $1,615 per month. Yesenia handles production. You handle sales, design, customer communication, and the DTF printer, which only you know how to unjam without wasting a printhead. In theory, this frees you to focus on the higher value activities, quoting, designing, and acquiring new customers. In practice, it creates a new problem: quality control. Yesenia is competent. She learns the heat press in 2 days. She's consistent with pressure and temperature. But she doesn't have your eye for alignment. She'll press a design that's a 1/4 inch off-center and not notice. She'll miss a thread or a tiny bubble in the vinyl. These are things you catch instinctively because you've pressed 3,000 shirts. She's pressed 150. You start checking every shirt before it goes into the customer's bag. This takes almost as much time as pressing them yourself. You've hired someone to do production and then doubled the production workflow by adding an inspection step. The fix takes 3 weeks to figure out. You create a quality checklist, printed, laminated, posted next to each press station. 1. Design-centered? Use alignment laser. 2. Colors match-proof? Compare to monitor mock-up. 3. No bubbles, peeling, or lifting at edges. 4. No scorch marks on shirt fabric. 5. Correct shirt brand/color/size per order form. 6. Collar and seams not caught under design. You buy a $39 crosshair laser alignment tool that projects centering lines on the shirt. Yesenia's quality jumps from about 92% first-pass accuracy to 98%. The 2% rejects get caught and repressed. Customer complaints drop to near zero. This is the transition from craftsman to manager. You're no longer making every shirt yourself. You're building systems that let other people make shirts to your standard. It's a completely different skill set, and it's the one that determines whether this stays a $12,000 per month business or becomes something bigger. Let's talk about Tommy. Tommy Brennan is the operations manager at Ridgecrest Roofing, a mid-size residential and commercial roofing company with 42 employees across 3 crews. They cover the Phoenix metro and have been in business for 16 years. His first order was 24 shirts, crew tees with the company logo on the front and a safety message on the back. Standard Gildan 5000 in safety green. Total $432. It was a normal order. Then he came back. He needed polos for the office staff, 8 Port Authority polos with embroidered logos. You don't do embroidery. You've been vinyl and DTF only. You tell him this. He says, "Can you figure it out?" You call a contract embroidery shop in Chandler, a company called Desert Stitches that does wholesale embroidery for the trade. They charge $6.50 per logo per location, with a setup fee of $35 per design. You mark it up to $12 per logo and charge Tommy $28 per polo. Blank cost $11.50 plus your $12 embroidery markup plus $4.50 margin. He's been paying $34 per polo from his previous supplier. Revenue $224. Your actual profit, after paying Desert Stitches, setup fee included, $45. Not great margins, but here's what matters. You kept the customer. If you'd said, "Sorry, we don't do embroidery," Tommy goes to someone who does. And that someone also does T-shirts, and now they're quoting his crew tees too, and you've lost a $432/quarter recurring customer. Over the next 4 months, Tommy places 7 orders, totaling $3,840. He starts bringing you to Ridgecrest's subcontractors. You do shirts for their electrician partner, their plumber partner, and a demolition company that works their job sites. Each one becomes its own account. This is the B2B gold mine. One relationship, one good relationship with someone who knows other business owners turns into 5, 8, 12 accounts. Tommy alone is responsible for $11,200 in revenue in your first year of working together. You take Tommy to lunch. He orders a Cuban sandwich and tells you something that reshapes your thinking about this business. "You know why I keep coming back?" he says. "It's not the price. Gary at Printcraft is cheaper. It's because I text you at 10 a.m. and by noon I have a proof. I approve it and you have shirts ready in 3 days. With Gary, I email him. He takes 2 days to respond. I send changes. He takes another day, and then it's 2 weeks for production. I don't have time for that. My guys need shirts now. Speed, responsiveness, reliability. Not price. Never price. You file this away and start answering every inquiry within 60 minutes during business hours. Your response time becomes a competitive advantage that you never advertise, but every customer notices. You've been in the custom T-shirt business for 23 months now, 9 of them full-time, and you've avoided screen printing entirely. Screen printing is the traditional method. It's how more than half of the world's printed T-shirts are produced. The quality is exceptional. The ink sits on top of the fabric and cures to a permanent, vibrant finish that lasts longer than vinyl or DTF transfers. The per-unit cost drops dramatically at scale. Once you've made the screens, each additional print costs pennies. But the setup cost is high. Each color requires a separate screen. A 2-color design needs 2 screens at $25 to $40 each. And those screens are only useful for that specific design. A new design means new screens. For a custom shop doing unique designs for every order, the economics don't work until you hit quantities of 50 or more per design. You've been able to avoid screen printing because HTV and DTF handle everything under 50 units profitably. But you're now getting inquiries for larger orders, 100, 200, 500 shirts, and your DTF costs at that volume are eating your margins. Example: a youth soccer league wants 300 shirts. Your DTF cost per shirt: $0.35 for the transfer, plus $0.15 for powder and film, plus $2.95 for the blank equals $3.45. You charge $9 per shirt. Margin: $5.55 per shirt, $1,665 total. A screen printer will charge you about $4.50 per shirt for blank plus print at that volume, all in. You could mark it up to $9 and pocket $4.50 each, or you could mark it up to $8, beating your own price, and pocket $3.50 each. Either way, you'd make more money with less work, because the screen printer does the production. The question is, do you invest in screen printing equipment and learn a new process? Or do you outsource to a contract screen printer, the way you outsource embroidery? You choose to outsource. Here's why. A basic manual screen printing setup, a 4-color, 1-station press, an exposure unit, a washout booth, screens, squeegees, inks, and a flash dryer runs $3,000 to $5,000. An automatic press that can keep up with volume orders costs $15,000 to $40,000. Either way, you need space, ventilation, plastisol fumes are no joke, and a learning curve measured in months, not days. You find a contract printer in Phoenix called Ink Factory. They specialize in wholesale screen printing for other shops. They don't sell direct to consumers, so they're not competing with you. Their pricing on a 1-color front print, 72 to 144 shirts, $4.20 each, blank included. 144 to 288, $3.80. 288 to 500, $3.40. 500 plus, $3.10. You become their customer. Every order over 72 units with 1 or 2 colors, you route to Ink Factory. You mark up 80 to 120% depending on the client. Your effective margin on outsourced screen printing orders, 42 to 48%. This is the contract manufacturing model, and it's how most successful custom apparel businesses operate once they reach a certain scale. You sell, they make. You both profit. Month 11 of full-time. Something you've been avoiding catches up with you. Your original Amazon heat press, the $289 one that started this whole thing, dies. Not dramatically, not in a puff of smoke. It just starts losing temperature consistency. The digital readout says 385 degrees, but your infrared thermometer shows cold spots at 350 and hot spots at 410. The platen is warped from 16 months of daily use. You can feel the unevenness when you lock it down. You press a run of 24 shirts for a CrossFit gym, and 4 of them have patchy transfers. The vinyl didn't adhere evenly because the temperature wasn't even. You repress them and it helps, but you've just burned 40 minutes and 4 sheets of HTV fixing a problem caused by bad equipment. You need a new heat press, a real one, not another $289 Amazon special. You research it for 2 days and settle on a Stahls Hotronics STX20, a 16 by 20 auto-open clamshell press with digital time and temperature control, an interchangeable lower platen, and a 5-year warranty on the frame. Price $2,100. $2,100 for a heat press. You could buy 7 of the Amazon ones for that. But here's the calculation you've learned to run by now. The Amazon press cost you money in 3 ways. First, The reprints. An average of 3 to 4 shirts per week need repressing due to inconsistent heat, costing you about $12 in wasted material and 30 minutes in wasted time. Second, the speed. The Amazon press takes 18 seconds to reach temperature after opening. The Stahl's auto-open springs back in 3 seconds. Over 200 presses a day, that's 50 minutes saved. Third, the downtime. You're on your second Amazon press already. You replaced the first one at month 8. At $289 every 8 months, you're spending $433 per year on disposable presses. The Stahl's pays for itself in reprints alone within 14 months. In production speed, closer to 8. In reliability, immediately. You buy it. Your business account winces. But the first day you use it, you understand the difference between consumer equipment and commercial equipment. The platen is perfectly flat. The pressure is even. Every transfer adheres identically. You press 84 shirts that day without a single repress. Yesenia, who's been fighting the Amazon press for months, says, "Can we throw the old one in the dumpster?" You put it on Facebook Marketplace for $75. It sells in 4 hours. One morning in June, a man walks into your shop wearing a suit that costs more than your monthly rent. His name is Derek Whitfield, and he represents a franchising consultancy. He's been researching the custom apparel market in the Phoenix metro, and he has a proposal. Derek wants to franchise your business model. His pitch? He provides the systems, branding, marketing playbook, and territory protection. You provide the operational expertise. Together, you roll out Marcus Delgado prints as a franchise with units across the Southwest. Franchise fee? $25,000 per location. Ongoing royalty? 6% of gross revenue. His consultancy takes a cut of the franchise fee for their advisory services. It sounds amazing for about 45 minutes, which is how long Derek talks. Then you go home and do math. Your single location does about $14,000 per month in revenue. A franchisee paying 6% royalty would send you $840 per month. But the franchisee needs training, your time, ongoing support, your time, quality control, your time, and marketing materials, your money. Derek's consultancy takes 30% of the $25,000 franchise fee, leaving you $17,500 per franchisee, before legal fees for the franchise disclosure document, which a franchise attorney quotes you at $15,000 to $25,000 to prepare. You'd break even on your first franchisee after about 3 years, assuming they survive that long. Franchise failure rates in first-time concepts without proven multi-unit economics, around 35% in the first 3 years. You politely decline. Derek leaves you his card and says, "When you're ready to scale." You're already scaling, just not his way. Month 13 of full-time. Revenue is consistently hitting $14,000 to $16,000 per month. Yesenia is full-time now, 40 hours a week at $16 per hour. You hire a second person. His name is Andre Washington, 23, Graphic Design Associate's degree from Phoenix College, and, critically, he knows Adobe Illustrator. You've been doing all design work in Canva, which is fine for text-based designs, but falls apart for anything with complex graphics, vector paths, or detailed illustrations. Andre comes on at $17 per hour, 35 hours a week. His job? design. Every order that needs custom artwork goes through Andre. He creates design proofs in Illustrator, exports them for DTF printing, preps files for the vinyl cutter, and formats artwork for the screen printer. What Andre does to your business in the first month is measurable. Your average design turnaround drops from 24 hours to 6. The quality of your mock-ups jumps dramatically. He creates photorealistic shirt mock-ups using templates from playset.net. So when customers see their proof, it looks like a photograph of the actual finished product, not a flat design pasted onto a rectangle. More importantly, Andre starts designing things customers didn't ask for. A landscaping company orders crew tees with their logo. Andre creates a matching mock-up for a hoodie, a hat, and a work jacket, unsolicited. He adds them to the proof email with a note. If you're interested in expanding your apparel line, here are some options. The landscaping company orders the hoodies. $6.38 each, 18 units, $684 in incremental revenue from an upsell that took Andre 12 minutes to create. This becomes a system. Every B2B order gets a brand expansion proof, showing 3 to 4 additional products. The upsell rate is 23%. Average incremental revenue per upsell, $420. You are building a company. It doesn't feel like it most days. It feels like chaos with a P&L attached. But the pieces are falling into place. You sell, Andre designs, Yesenia produces. And for things you can't produce in-house, embroidery, large-run screen printing, specialty items like jackets and hats, you route to contract partners and mark it up. You've been delivering shirts to Tommy Brennan's Ridgecrest roofing office for over a year. Every time you drop off an order, you park next to the same pickup trucks, walk through the same lobby, and nod at the same receptionist, a woman named Claire, who always asks if you've tried the new fur place on University. On a delivery in August, Tommy introduces you to his boss, the owner. His name is Robert Keane. Robert is in his 50s, tanned, calloused hands, the kind of guy who started this roofing company 16 years ago by standing on a roof in August heat and never forgot what it felt like. Robert asks a simple question. Can you do everything? Shirts, polos, jackets, hats, high-vis vests, hard hat stickers? You say yes. You can do about half of that in-house. The other half you'll outsource. But Robert doesn't need to know your supply chain. He needs to know that one phone call gets him everything. Robert wants to consolidate. He's been buying apparel from 3 different vendors, one for crew t-shirts, one for embroidered polos and jackets, and one for safety gear. Managing 3 vendors is a headache. He wants one. You put together a comprehensive proposal. 60-page lookbook. Andre spends 4 days on it, showing every product category with Ridgecrest branding. Crew tees, performance shirts, polos, quarter zips, full zip hoodies, Carhartt-style work jackets, high-vis safety vests, beanies, snapback hats, and yes, hard hat stickers. The annual contract, $43,200, 12 months. Monthly billing at $3,600. Flat pricing per item type, quantity adjusted, with a 5% discount baked in for the annual commitment. Your cost to fulfill, approximately $24,800 per year across in-house production and contract outsourcing. Annual profit from one account, $18,400. Robert signs with a handshake and a purchase order on company letterhead. You frame the PO. It's the first frame on the wall of your shop that isn't a sample shirt. $18,400 in annual profit from one relationship that started with a $432 order for 24 green t-shirts. It's 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday in March. The scene from the beginning. Here's what happened. Karen Hollister's race company, Southwest Endurance Events, has expanded. They're now producing 22 races per year across Arizona, New Mexico, and southern Colorado. You've become their exclusive apparel partner. Each race needs participant shirts, volunteer shirts, and staff shirts. Average order per race, 450 shirts. You've just been awarded the contract for their biggest race yet, the Phoenix Metro Half Marathon. Estimated participant count, 2,800. Total shirts needed, 3,200. Participants plus staff and volunteers. You placed the order with Ink Factory for screen printing 3 weeks ago. The shirts were delivered to your shop yesterday. And they're wrong. Not subtly wrong. The Pantone color on the race logo is PMS 2728, a specific shade of blue that matches the race's branding. The shirts came back in PMS 285. Close, but noticeably greener. The race director has a brand guide. The sponsor, a regional hospital, has their logo on the back in a precise shade of teal that also missed by 2 shades. 3,200 shirts. Wrong color. Ink Factory's response: we matched to the closest available stock ink. If you needed a PMS match, you should have specified a custom ink mix at quoting. You go back to your quote email. You did specify the PMS numbers, but you didn't explicitly request a custom ink mix. You assumed that specifying PMS 2728 meant they'd mix to PMS 2728. In commercial screen printing, stock inks are close but not exact matches. Custom mixing adds $35 per color and 2 to 3 days to production. Ink Factory used stock because it was faster and cheaper, and technically within their standard process. The race is in 11 days. You need 3,200 reprinted shirts. Karen is calling. The hospital sponsor is calling. Your hands smell like the plastisol samples you've been comparing, trying to convince yourself the difference isn't that bad. It is that bad. You eat the cost, all of it. New screen setup with custom PMS ink mix, $70. 2 screens, 2 colors. Ink mix, $70. Print production at rush pricing, 7 business days instead of 14. $1.20 per shirt surcharge times 3,200 equals $3,840. New blanks, because the originals are already printed. 3,200 times $2.95 equals $9,440. Shipping for rush delivery, $480. Total cost of the mistake, $13,900. Your profit on the original contract was $8,600. You just went negative $5,300. But you don't pass the cost to Karen. You don't make excuses. You call her at 7:15 a.m. and say, "The shirts came in with a color mismatch. I've already ordered the reprint with corrected colors. They'll be here 4 days before the race. I'm covering the cost." There's a silence on the phone that lasts about 5 seconds. Then she says, "Marcus, I've been doing events for 12 years. You're the first vendor who's ever called me with a problem and a solution at the same time. The corrected shirts arrive on time. The race goes off without a hitch. Karen adds a second year to your contract and raises the volume estimate. The $5,300 loss becomes a $47,000 annual account. But lying in bed at 2:47 a.m., you don't know that yet. All you know is the math, and the math right now is terrifying. The $5,300 loss from the Phoenix Metro Half Marathon reprint creates a cash flow crisis that takes 2 months to fully resolve. Your business checking balance drops to $890. Not a typo. $890. You have $14,000 in accounts receivable, money owed to you by customers. But receivables don't pay your vinyl supplier when they send an invoice marked Net 15. You do 3 things that keep the business alive. First, you call every customer with an outstanding balance and politely ask them to pay early. 6 of them do. Total collected, $6,200 in 8 days. Second, you negotiate net 30 terms with Sanmar, your primary blank supplier. Until now, you've been paying on delivery. Net 30 means you get the shirts first and pay 30 days later, a standard trade credit arrangement that most suppliers offer to established accounts. Your Sanmar rep approves it in 1 phone call. This gives you $2,000 to $4,000 in monthly breathing room. Third, you take no owner's draw for 6 weeks. 0. You live on the $1,200 you have in personal savings and a credit card that you promise yourself you'll pay off in full when business cash rebounds. By month 16, you're stabilized. Revenue that month, $15,800. Cash reserves are back to $4,200. The credit card balance is $1,800 and shrinking. But the crisis exposed something structural. You have no financial buffer. Your business runs month to month with almost no retained cash. Every good month's profit gets reinvested in equipment or inventory, leaving nothing for emergencies. You set a new policy. 10% of every month's net profit goes into a savings account and doesn't get touched, period. By the end of year 2, that account holds $7,400. It's not a lot, but it's the difference between surviving a bad month and closing the doors. Yesenia comes to you with an idea in September. We should do sublimation, she says. She's been watching YouTube videos and following accounts on TikTok. Sublimation printing uses special dye-based inks and heat to permanently infuse color into polyester fabric. Unlike vinyl or DTF, which sit on top of the fabric, sublimated designs become part of the material. They don't crack, peel, or fade. The print has 0 texture. You literally can't feel it. The catch: sublimation only works on white or light-colored polyester. It doesn't work on cotton. It doesn't work on dark colors. This limits the product range, but opens an entirely different market. Sublimation is ideal for performance athletic wear, moisture-wicking poly tees, jerseys, all-over print designs, edge-to-edge, not just a chest graphic, hard goods, mugs, tumblers, phone cases, mouse pads, puzzles, ornaments, coasters, dog tags, keychains, promotional products, branded drinkware, accessories, corporate gifts. The equipment cost: an Epson EcoTank ET-15000 wide format printer, $500, with Hipu sublimation ink, $45 for CMYK. A-sub sublimation paper, $30 for 110 sheets. And a mug press, $89. Total entry, $664. You approve it. Yesenia sets up a sublimation station in the back corner of the shop. The first product she sublimated was a custom coffee mug for a test, a photo of her dog, Biscuit, wrapped around an 11-ounce white ceramic mug. It came out perfectly. The colors were vivid. The image was permanent. She tried to scratch it with her thumbnail. Nothing. Within 2 months, sublimation products represent 18% of your revenue. The margins are exceptional. A custom 11-ounce mug costs $2.80 all in. Blank mug, $1.50. Ink and paper, $0.30, your time. And sells for $14 to $18 retail. A set of 4 custom coasters costs $3.20 to produce and sells for $24. But the real money in sublimation isn't mugs and coasters. It's corporate promotional products. A law firm in Scottsdale orders 200 custom tumblers with their logo for a client appreciation event. Your cost per tumbler, $6.80. Blank skinny tumbler from the stainless depot plus printing. You charge $22 each. Revenue, $4,400. Profit, $3,040. One order, $3,000 in profit from a $664 equipment investment. Month 20 of full-time, revenue, $18,200. Team, 3 full-time, you, Yesenia, Andre. 1 part-time production helper named Chris, who comes in on weekends during busy season. $14 per hour, 12 to 16 hours per week. Your monthly operating expenses. Rent plus triple net charges, $1,380. Payroll for your staff plus your own drawer, $8,940. Payroll taxes and workers' comp, $1,430. Shopify, $39. QuickBooks Simple Start, $30. Phone and Internet, $147. Insurance, your business owner's policy, $142. Supplies and maintenance, $280. Marketing, postcards and Google ads, $350. Total overhead, $12,738. COGS at 38%, $6,916. Total expenses, $19,654. Revenue, $18,200. You're in the red. Not by much, $1,454. But you're losing money. For the first time since going full-time, your business is cash flow negative on a monthly basis. The culprit is payroll. When you added Chris part-time and bumped Yesenia to full-time at $16 per hour, plus a $1 per hour raise to $17 that she earned, your labor costs jumped 34%. You could cut Chris. That would save $900 per month and put you back in the black. But Chris handles the weekend production overflow that lets you take Saturday and Sunday off, something you haven't done consistently since you started this business. Cutting Chris means going back to 7-day weeks. Instead, you focus on the revenue side. Specifically, you focus on what you're not charging for. You pull a month's worth of orders and time track everything retroactively. Design time, production time, communication time, packing and shipping time. You discover that you're spending an average of 47 minutes per order on non-production tasks: emailing, creating proofs, revising proofs, fielding size questions, generating invoices. 47 minutes per order, unpaid. At 65 orders per month, that's 51 hours of unbilled work. At your effective billing rate of $35 per hour, you're leaving $1,785 per month on the table. You implement 3 changes. Design fee. All custom artwork is now $25 per design, waived if the customer provides print-ready files. Previously, you did design for free. This captures $325 per month in additional revenue and, more importantly, incentivizes customers to send you clean files instead of napkin sketches. Revision limit. 2 rounds of revisions included. Each additional revision, $15. The average order was requiring 2.7 revisions. This drops to 1.8 revisions within a month, saving Andre 3 hours per week. Minimum order value, $150 minimum. Previously, you'd take any order down to a single shirt. A $16 single shirt order cost you $7 in production time and $4 in materials. $5 profit for 15 minutes of work, plus the same 47 minutes of admin overhead. Not worth it. The $150 minimum pushes small orders up. People add items to reach the threshold. Or away. People who only want one shirt go to a DTF, on-demand shop, which is fine. Combined effect. $2,100 per month in additional revenue. $600 per month in reduced admin time. Net impact plus $2,700 per month. You're back in the black, solidly. You've been running Google Ads since month 4 of full-time. Budget $350 per month. Your campaigns target local search terms. Custom shirts, Mesa AZ. T-shirt printing near me. Custom business apparel, Phoenix. In 20 months, you've spent $7,000 on Google Ads. You've tracked the results carefully using UTM parameters and a simple Google Sheet. 760 website visits from ads. 38 quote requests. 22 orders. Total revenue attributable to Google Ads, $8,940. Return on ad spend, 1.28 times. That's barely positive. After cost of goods, you're roughly breaking even on ad spend. Google Ads is essentially paying for itself and nothing more. But there's a metric you almost missed because it doesn't show up in the ads dashboard. Lifetime value. Of those 22 customers acquired through Google Ads, 9 have reordered. Their average total spend, first order plus reorders, $1,840. The first order alone averaged $406. The customer who found you through a Custom Polos Phoenix search in month 7 has now placed 11 orders, totaling $6,200. When you recalculate using lifetime value instead of first order revenue, your Google Ads return jumps to 5.8 times. Every dollar you put in has generated $5.80 in total revenue. You increase your budget to $600 per month and hire a freelance PPC manager from Fiverr for $200 per month to optimize your campaigns. She restructures your ad groups, adds negative keywords. You are showing up for t-shirt design software and screen printing classes, and creates dedicated landing pages for your top 3 service categories: business apparel, team uniforms, and event merchandise. Within 3 months, your cost per click drops from $9.21 to $5.47, and your conversion rate from lead to customer improves from 58% to 71%. Your 1,100 square foot shop is full. Not metaphorically, physically. The blank inventory takes up a third of the production space. 18 shelving units of shirts, polos, hoodies, performance tees, and specialty blanks in every color and size. The 2 heat presses take up another section. The DTF printer and its curing oven occupy a corner. The sublimation station has its own area. Andre's design desk needs enough space for his dual monitors and a sample review area. And the front retail space, which generates 31% of your revenue, takes up the entire storefront. You can't add another press. You can't add another employee. You literally can't fit another body in the production area during a busy shift. The options. Option A. Move to a larger space. A 2,200 square foot unit in a light industrial park in East Mesa is available for $1,650 per month plus NNN. Bigger production area, more storage, room for additional equipment, but no storefront. Option B. Keep the Main Street location and add a satellite production space. Rent a 600 square foot warehouse unit nearby for $650 per month and move most inventory storage and high volume production there. Keep the storefront for design consultations, small orders and walk-ins. Option C. Move to a space that has both retail frontage and warehouse depth. These exist, but they're expensive. $2,400 to $3,000 per month in Mesa. You choose Option A. Here's why. By month 22, walk-in revenue has plateaued. You're getting 12 to 15 walk-ins per week, and while they're valuable, they're no longer growing. Your online and B2B channels, on the other hand, are growing 8 to 12% month over month. The storefront matters less than it used to. What matters now is production capacity. The new space in the industrial park has 2,200 square feet, double what you have now. A roll-up dock door for deliveries. 3-phase electrical, necessary if you ever add an automatic press. 15-foot ceilings with overhead lighting that makes quality inspection effortless. A small front area you convert into a design studio and meeting room for client consultations. The move costs $4,800, first, last, deposit plus moving truck. You lose 1 week of production during the transition. You send every active customer an email with a new address and a 10% discount code valid for 30 days. You lose 4 walk-in customers who don't want to drive to the industrial park. You gain the ability to add a 3rd heat press station and hire a 4th production team member. Net impact. Within 3 months of moving, your monthly revenue jumps from $18,200 to $22,500. The additional space isn't just room, it's capacity. Capacity you immediately fill. It's a Wednesday afternoon in November when Andre comes to you with a proof that's already been approved by the customer and is in the production queue. "Hey Marcus, did you see this?" He's holding his laptop, showing a design for a youth wrestling team in Chandler. The design has a mascot, an eagle, and the team name, Chandler Eagles Wrestling. The eagle is clip art, not custom artwork, not licensed artwork. clip art that Andre found on a free download site and used because the customer said, "Something like this," and sent a screenshot of a similar image they found online. You check the file. No license. No attribution. No indication of whether it's royalty-free, Creative Commons, or copyrighted. Andre assumed free download sites meant the images were free to use commercially. They often are not. This is copyright infringement. If the original artist or the stock image company discovers it, and they do, because there are companies that do nothing but scan the internet for unauthorized use of copyrighted images, you'll receive a demand letter first.
And if it goes to court, federal statutory damages run from $750 to $30,000 for a single infringed work, up to $150,000 if a judge decides you did it knowingly. That's the exposure on one clip art ego. You kill the order immediately. You call the customer, explain that there's a design issue, and offer to create original custom artwork at no additional charge. Andre spends 3 hours drawing a new eagle from scratch in Illustrator. The customer is annoyed at the delay, but accepts the new design. Then, you implement a policy that should have been in place from day one. Artwork Clearance Protocol. 1. Customer provides artwork. Customer signs a release stating they own or have rights to all submitted images and text. Liability transfers to customer. 2. Designer creates artwork. All elements must be original or sourced from licensed stock libraries. You subscribe to Adobe stock for $30 per month and Envato Elements for $16.50 per month. 3. No free download sites. No Google image search. No "I found this online" sourcing. Ever. 4. Brand logos. Customer must provide official brand assets. You don't pull Nike logos off Google to put on custom shirts for someone's fantasy football league. This protocol saves you from a lawsuit. You know this because 4 months later, you receive an email from a print shop owner in Tucson who got hit with a $12,000 settlement for using unlicensed clip art on a run of fraternity shirts. $12,000. The clip art was a $3 stock image. Let's look at where you stand at the end of year 2, month 24 of full-time, month 38 since you first pressed a shirt in your garage. Revenue, $216,400, annual. Average monthly revenue, $18,033. Best month, $26,700, October. Worst month, $11,200, January. Cost of goods sold, $82,232, 38%. Gross profit, $134,168. Operating expenses, payroll, 4 people including you, $142,880. Rent plus NNN, $21,480. Insurance, $1,704. Software/subscriptions, $1,524. Marketing, $7,200. Equipment maintenance, $2,400. Professional services, CPA, legal, $2,600. Miscellaneous, $3,600. Total operating expenses, $183,388. Wait,
operating expenses of $183,388 against gross profit of $134,168. That's a loss of $49,220. Not exactly. That $142,880 in payroll includes your own salary, which you set at $52,000, slightly more than your old sporting goods job. The business's actual loss before your salary, positive $2,780. Your business is breaking even plus a bit while paying 4 people, including you. Here's the real number that matters. You went from making $47,200 a year as an assistant retail manager with no upside, no equity, and no path to significant income growth, to making $52,000 from a business you own that's growing at 40% year over year, with increasing margins as you scale. Your accountant, a CPA named Helen Matsuda, who you found through SCORE, a free mentoring service from the SBA, helps you structure things properly. You elect S Corp status for your LLC starting in year 3. This lets you split your income between salary and distributions, saving you as much as $6,800 per year in self-employment tax as profits grow. She charges you $1,800 per year for tax prep and quarterly advisory calls. Helen also points out something you missed. You've been depreciating your equipment wrong. The Stars heat press, the Roland cutter, the DTF printer, and the Sublimation equipment are all Section 179 eligible, meaning you can deduct the full purchase price in the year you bought them, instead of depreciating over 5 to 7 years. She files amended returns. The refund? $3,200. Year 3. This is where the business either levels up or levels off. Most custom apparel businesses plateau between $200,000 and $300,000 in annual revenue because the owner can't or won't let go of the production work. You've been pressing shirts yourself less and less. Yesenia runs production. Chris, now full-time at $15.50 per hour, is her second. Andre handles all design. But you're still the bottleneck in 3 areas: sales, order intake, and production scheduling. Every order that comes in goes through you. You read the inquiry. You create the quote. You follow up. You collect payment. You schedule the production timeline. You coordinate with contract printers. You verify shipping dates. This worked when you had 60 orders a month. You now have 110. You implement 3 systems that break the bottleneck. Inksoft, an industry-specific platform that replaces your Shopify store with an online design tool. Customers can choose a shirt style, upload or create a design, see a realistic mock-up, and place an order without talking to you. It integrates with your supplier catalogs, Sanmar, S&S Activewear, Alpha Broder, so customers see real-time inventory and pricing. Monthly cost, $314. Printavo, a production management system designed for print shops. Every order gets entered into Printavo with a status: quoted, approved, in production, ready for pickup, shipped. Each team member can see the queue and know what to work on next. It generates packing slips, invoices, and production sheets. Monthly cost, $99. Square appointments. For walk-in consultations, yes, you still get them, Customers drive to the industrial park when they want to discuss large orders. Customers book a 30-minute design consultation online instead of showing up unannounced. Monthly cost? Free with your existing Square account. Total software spend? $413 per month. Time saved? Roughly 20 hours per week. Almost all of it your time. Those 20 hours get redirected to sales outreach, relationship management, and strategic planning. The effect is immediate. In the first month after implementation, you close 3 new B2B accounts that you wouldn't have had time to pursue before. Combined annual value, $28,000. It happens on a Friday afternoon in April. You're in the production area helping Yesenia run a time-sensitive order, 180 DTF transfers for a regional dental conference, when your phone buzzes with a Printavo notification. New order submitted through Inksoft. You glance at it and nearly drop the transfer sheet. The order is from a property management company in Scottsdale that manages 32 apartment complexes across the Phoenix metro. They need branded apparel for their maintenance teams, leasing agents, and corporate staff. The order? 200 polo shirts with embroidered logo, $28 each, equals $5,600. 150 crew neck t-shirts with DTF print, $16 each, equals $2,400. 80 full zip hoodies with embroidered logo, $42 each, equals $3,360. 50 performance quarter zips, $38 each, equals $1,900. 40 structured snapback hats, $22 each, equals $880. Total order value? $14,140. Deposited 50%, $7,070. On a Friday afternoon. Through an automated system, without a single phone call. But here's the part that changes your year. The property management company reorders quarterly, 4 times a year. Different quantities based on seasonal turnover, but averaging $12,000 per cycle. Annual account value, $48,000. Your single largest account. Acquired through Inksoft. Cost of acquisition, $0. They found you through a Google search that cost you $4.12 in ad spend. Return on that $4.12 click, 11,650 times. This is what happens when systems do the selling. You didn't pitch this company. You didn't wine and dine their procurement manager. You built a system that let them find you, see your work, price their order, and submit it without friction. They chose you because it was easy. Month 30 of full-time. 2.5 years since you quit the sporting goods store. You sit down with Helen Matsuda for your quarterly review, and she shows you the trailing 12 months. Revenue, $312,000. You stare at the number. You ask her to double-check it. $312,000 in annual revenue. A custom T-shirt printing business that started with a $289 heat press on a folding table in a garage in Mesa, Arizona. Breakdown. B2B and corporate accounts, $168,000 a year, 54% of total. Sports teams and leagues, $56,000, 18%. Events like races and festivals, $44,000, 14%. Sublimation products, $28,000, 9%. consumer, and walk-in, $16,000, 5%. Your B2B concentration strategy worked. Over half your revenue comes from businesses that reorder regularly, pay on time, and don't argue about pricing.
COGS, $115,440,
37%. Gross profit, $196,560. Operating expenses, including your $62,000 salary, you gave yourself a raise, $184,200. Net profit before distributions, $12,360, on top of your salary. That $12,360 is not a lot in absolute terms. But remember, you're also paying yourself $62,000. Your total compensation from this business, $74,360. And the business has $18,000 in retained cash, $43,000 in equipment, depreciated value, and a client list with $196,000 in contracted annual recurring revenue. If you wanted to sell this business tomorrow, and you don't, but if you did, a custom apparel shop with $312,000 revenue, $196,000 gross profit, and strong B2B recurring revenue would sell for roughly 2 times to 3 times seller's discretionary earnings, SDE. SDE equals net profit plus owner's salary plus owner perks equals approximately $80,000. Valuation range, $160,000 to $240,000. You built a $250,000 asset from a $752.50 investment in under 4 years. You're sitting in the production area on a Sunday evening, not working, just sitting. The shop is closed. The presses are cool. The only sound is the hum of the DTF printer doing its nightly maintenance cycle. Ava brought you a coffee. She's in the front area, scrolling her phone, waiting for you to finish whatever you're doing, which is really just thinking. If you could go back to the beginning, to the night Ricky asked about basketball shirts, and you said, "I could probably figure that out," what would you tell yourself? Start charging more immediately. You wasted 3 months at $8 to $10 per shirt because you didn't understand that your price has almost nothing to do with your cost and everything to do with the customer's alternative. You could have been at $14 to $16 from day one and lost 0 customers. Get a business bank account in week 1, not month 5. Commingling personal and business finances is the fastest way to lose track of your actual profitability. You spent months thinking you were making more than you were because your personal checking balance included business revenue. Learn DTF from the start. You spent months doing everything in HTV because it's what you learned first. DTF is faster, more versatile, and produces a better product for most applications. HTV still has its place, names and numbers on jerseys, metallic and specialty finishes. But DTF should have been your default method from month 3. Hire earlier. You waited until month 8 of full-time to hire Yesenia. Those 8 months of solo work didn't make you more money. They made you more tired. If you'd hired at month 4, you would have hit your scaling milestones 4 months sooner. The customer who costs you the most money is the one who pays the least. The $96 birthday party order that generates 9 emails and 3 design revisions costs you more in time than the $1,400 corporate order that requires 2 emails and 0 revisions. Set minimums, charge for design time, and don't feel guilty about it. Speed is a product. Tommy Brennan didn't choose you because you were cheaper. He chose you because you responded in an hour and delivered in 3 days. In a world where every custom apparel shop offers basically the same products at basically the same quality, the one that responds fastest wins. Eat the cost of your mistakes. The $5,300 you lost on the Phoenix Metro reprint bought you a $47,000 per year account and a reputation for doing the right thing. Every vendor in this industry will eventually have a production error. What separates you from the others is how you handle it. Systems before staff. Every time you add a person, you need a system for them to follow, a checklist, a workflow, a quality standard. Without systems, adding staff adds complexity without proportional output. Your quality inspection checklist, your artwork clearance protocol, your pricing framework. These aren't bureaucracy. They're the infrastructure that lets other people do your job without being you. You finish your coffee. Ava asks if you're ready to go. Yeah, you say. Let me just check the queue for tomorrow. You open Printavo on your phone. 14 orders in production, 3 scheduled for delivery. 2 new quote requests that came in after hours, 1 from a dental practice, 1 from a CrossFit gym. You put the phone in your pocket. You'll deal with it in the morning. Because that's something else you've learned in 30 months. The work will always be there. The question is whether you're running the business or the business is running you. Right now, tonight, walking out of the shop with your girlfriend and locking the door behind you, you're running the business. And that, as it turns out, is your entire business. The story of Marcus Delgado Prints LLC is based on composite experiences common to custom T-shirt printing business owners in the United States. All business strategies, financial figures, and industry details reflect realistic 2026 market conditions in the U.S. custom apparel industry.